Everybody, good morning. Thank you for joining us on The Advance. I'm Brandon Waltens. Michael Quinn Sullivan having a little bit of a plane, trains, and automobiles moment. I guess he's probably stuck in Wichita or something. So he's not able to join us, but have no fear. We've got a special guest we're going to bring in here in just a moment. But first, want to talk a little bit about the week ahead here at the Texas Capitol. It's hard to believe. We talked about it. We're already past the halfway mark. Now we're on the 78th day of the regular legislative session, which lasts for 140 days. And right now at this point, the Senate has passed now over half of their priorities, of the priorities that Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick rolled out. And just today, the House is set to hear its first bill. So they're going to vote on the first bills of the session. We're going to talk about that in just a moment. But first, to catch you up on what's happening in the Senate, the intent calendar, which is essentially the bills they could take up on any given day, they could take up today, could be tomorrow, include priorities like voter ID, essentially citizenship verification for registering to vote, some election integrity legislation. We've also got legislation dealing with border security and partnerships between local law enforcement and federal immigration authorities to help the Trump administration in deportations. So you've got a lot of that happening in the Senate already. Yesterday, you saw some more of the Make Texas Healthy Again initiatives, like the ban on SNAP funds, right? Food stamps essentially going to junk food, sodas, chips, etc. That passing after State Senator Mays Middleton moved that legislation through the Senate. And so the Senate's continued to work. They worked yesterday. Meanwhile, the House, if you've been paying attention, didn't even have a quorum a few of the last several days here. We're going to talk about that right now with a Representative Brent Money. Brent, thank you so much for joining. Before, I know you all are going to be meeting at 10 o'clock. This is a big day. This is the first day that there's actually a calendar on the floor.
That's right. We're finally going to vote on a few things. Mm-hmm. And as you mentioned, the Senate has been just tackling priority after priority after priority. Unfortunately, the bills that we are taking up over this next week are not priority bills. Mm-hmm. Doesn't mean that they're not important to some people, but important things that your viewers and the people that are in my district care about, we're not taking those up yet.
What does it say? And maybe I'm reading too much into it, but if you look at today's calendar, now there are some, there's only a few items really on the calendar, and most of them deal with property taxes or taxes, but not in like a major way. They're sort of smaller property tax bills. But the first actual bill is one written by a Democrat, Representative Plesa. What is that? What does that say to you?
Yeah, I don't think anything is by accident. There are no coincidences. Once again, this bill does not help anyone with taxes. It's arguably a transparency bill to tell taxpayers how much of their money is being recaptured by the Robin Hood program. But it is not it doesn't actually fix that problem. It doesn't seek to fix that problem. It's a show bill, kind of, hey, look, we're doing something kind of bill.
What do you make of the fact, I mean, people were shocked, I think, when they saw on Friday and then again on Saturday that most members not here. Is that on the members, or is it, maybe they didn't have a reason to come? Is it sort of both?
Yeah, I think, obviously, I mean, the people elect us to go to work. Mm-hmm. And so we should show up. I was here. But other people, on the other hand, when you know in advance, we have been doing this for 11 weeks. We've never had to show up on a Friday. every day that we have shown up, we've done nothing important other than recognize people in the gallery and, that kind of thing. Then when people have important issues in their district, whether it's for a political purpose or just running their business or whatever it is that they do, it's like, well, it's not going to matter if I'm not here. Mm-hmm. And so I would say that it's mostly on leadership for just creating an environment where our presence is pointless. Mm-hmm. And so I'm hopeful that we're finished with that part of the session. Mm-hmm. Everybody learned their lesson. Okay, yeah, gonna have to be here. We're gonna start voting on real things, mm-hmm. but it is. I think it was a little bit of a black eye for leadership.
Out on the horizon, probably being voted on in a few weeks, is the budget. Now, the House Appropriations Committee just moved it through yesterday, meaning likely will be on the floor maybe in the next 2 or 3 weeks. This is the largest state budget in history. Do you think it grows government too much? Is there more work to be done on it?
Man, the fact that we even kind of call this a budget bothers me as a businessman, as a former city council member. We don't have a House Budget Committee. We have a House Appropriations Committee. We're going to appropriate taxpayer money. Almost all of that is done in secret, either in the first draft of the legislation by Dr. Bond and by subcommittee meetings that were supposed to be on video and published for the world to see, and it wasn't. Mm-hmm. Probably an accidental oversight, but when brought to their attention, they didn't make any attempt to fix it. And so what we have is if this budget passes, over the last 2 sessions, we will have grown state government by over 40%, mm-hmm. at a time when the federal government is slashing every day. At a time when the most important issue on my campaign, and I think everybody else's campaign, was taxes. I mean, every door you knocked on, what are you doing about taxes? What are you doing about taxes? Well, when the government spends money, you're being taxed. And every dollar that we are spending at the state level is a dollar that we can't buy down local property taxes and do those sorts of things. And so, yeah, it's way too big. And we need to get over this idea that if something needs to be done, then the government has to do it. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of ways to solve problems that don't require taking money from the entire state under threat of force and then redistributing it out to the people that we think need it more.
One of the issues that was supposed to be voted on actually this morning in committee and got delayed is, of course, the big school choice bill. Senate Bill 2, I think, is what they're going to be subbing it with. That was supposed to be voted out today. That's been delayed. The chairman, Brad Buckley, says it's because some of the numbers came back late. He wants members to have time to review it. There's a majority of co-authors on school choice. Do you have any concerns? The speaker seems to think it's going to pass no problem.
I think it's going to pass. What my concern is that right now we have enough people in the House to pass it. If the bill changes significantly, we may lose some people. Mm-hmm. And I think that there will, excuse me, I'm sorry. Yeah. I think that there will be attempts to say, well, the bill really needs to do this, the bill really needs to do that, mostly from people that aren't going to vote for the bill anyway, mm-hmm. and make it worse. And so I think we're going to be playing a lot of defense on bad amendments primarily. There may be a few tweaks that the conservatives want to put in there if we can, but mm-hmm. But overall, I think Buckley's bill is good. I think when I talked with him recently, he was looking at some of the Senate bill's implementation. I think that we like, there's some things there that we like, but I think the House bill on policy mm-hmm. is good.
Okay. Last question. A lot of people watching this, they're saying, like we mentioned, this is the 78th day right now of the session, 140 days. What can people at home who are watching the session, maybe they're frustrated that their issue is not moving, what can they be doing right now? What should they be doing?
Yeah, I think that it's really a difficult position. It's a position that I've been in for many, many sessions, sitting at home, talking with your friends, your neighbors, looking online and saying, hey, why are these things not passing? Obviously, the first and lowest hanging fruit is call your representative and talk with them. And they will have a good excuse or a good reason why something isn't happening as quickly as it should. And just hold their feet to the fire and tell them that you expect these Republican priorities to pass. We've had plenty of time. We have utilized the last 11 weeks in the way that leadership wanted us to utilize it. Some people, I think it looks like it's been wasted to me. Other people say, no, there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. Well, the proof is in the pudding. We've got less than 2 months now to fix this and to get the things done that need to be done. I think we're going to see some, at some point, this Burroughs Democrat love affair is going to fracture. And it's going to, and that may be through chubbing bills and delaying. It could be from breaking quorum. It could be from whoever. But we're going to see time wasted that is going to impact conservative policy. And so keep their feet to the fire, tell them to go, and then hold them accountable if things aren't done.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Representative, for joining us. And thank you for joining us. We'll be back here next Tuesday with Michael Quinn Sullivan for The Advance. Thank you for joining.